Hello and welcome to another session of Groundbreakers Live. I'm your host Javed Mohammed, and I'm very honored to have with us Peter Raganitsch, who is an Oracle Apex enthusiast. You can see that from all his background, and he's also an Oracle Ace director. So Peter, welcome.
Hi, Javed. Thanks for having me.
All right.
It's
Thank you for
pleasure being part of this.
All right. So let's get right into it. How did you become involved with Apex?
By accident somehow, I guess. So I used to be a database and forms developer for a long time. And then I got bored. So I took a year off and traveled around a bit. And then I came back. I was looking for a job as a freelancer and figured, hey, forms, I don't want to do forms anymore. So let's learn something new. And then a friend told me about Apex. So I looked into that, got a job with Apex. And I thought, well, that's great. So I'll start my own company. And then I started this company and started another. And all we do is do projects with Apex. We build a lot of plugins with Apex and trainings, everything we can do evolves around Apex somehow, and the database, of course.
Right. So I'm sure you built a lot of apps, and it sounds like plugins also for Apex. Is there one that you're really proud of? And maybe there's more than one, but if you want to just mention one.
Well, it's like with your kids, right? You're proud of all of them.
But you know what? The kids are not watching now. Just tell us one.
Oh, you don't know. So it's, of course, the things I did like 10 years ago, from today's point of view, looking back, I think, well, we could have done it so much better. But things we do today and projects we are involved, that's great. That's and I'm not hardly doing any projects just on my own. So we are a big team and everyone is doing a bit. So that's the way I like to work. There is, pick the best brains and everyone patches in with his talent. And then the outcome is then a hopefully great app for everyone.
Great. And you kind of touched upon this one. So how has Apex evolved since the time you kind of got involved, since you started engaging with it?
Well, when I first looked at Apex around HTMLDB 1516, coming from forms, I was really disappointed. I did not yet see how far it could evolve. I just saw, hey, I could do several things very easy in forms, and then it's so basic in Apex. And since then, it evolved drastically. So what we can build today are so easy and simple, good-looking apps, and everyone seems to be happy. So every client we introduce to Apex, they love it.
Awesome.
Especially the speed.
And and I'm sure there are many, just like the previous question, there are many best practices. Are there a couple that you can share in terms of, for the folks out there, who are not as familiar with Apex?
Well, probably one best practice is take the time to learn it. It's, even though it's a low-code tool and it's very easy to understand, dig into it, try everything out, read some documentation. It's actually not that bad, and take it slow. Low code and simple to code doesn't mean everyone is mastering the first day.
Okay.
That's one advice. The other one, and that's advice for life: build something you are proud of. Don't take shortcuts.
Great. And are there any things on the converse side? Are there any things you should avoid at all costs?
Yeah, if you take shortcuts, if you hurry too much, if you think, well, that should do, it's good enough, right? This will always come back and bite you.
Okay. All right.
So
well, that's
take your time.
All the things you said are really sound advice. I know off camera we were talking a little bit about the weather. You're based in outside Vienna in Austria. So you said summer slowly starts. Is that always the case in Austria?
I know it should be warmer by
Uh-huh.
now already,
I see.
but somehow this year it takes a bit longer. Um,
Okay. So if
yeah,
someone,
we're getting
if,
there.
and if someone is visiting Vienna, what's like one recommendation you have that if someone comes there, is there, I'm sure there are, again, many things to see, a lot of foods to try, but if there's one recommendation you have, what would it be?
Uh, Take your time, walk around the city, especially city center. There is everything within walking distance. You will find many attractions. Try out local food and drinks. Just take it
Uh,
in.
Take it in and have a good time. Well, Peter, thank you so much. It was a great interview and conversation, and wishing you the best.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Bye.
Thank you.